actually sitting in my hall and I thought I'd bring my camera outside and just have a different scenery at the back because I don't know, I've been filming in the room for a while, so it is at night, so I'm using like the ceiling light, which is obviously not the most attractive, and the sound quality might not be so great as well, so you know, we'll make it a little casual, have a chit chat, because this thought actually came to my mind about thrill of purchases after I filmed my YSL puffer bag, you know, would I buy it again review. And in that video I made a comment about, you know, the excitement of owning this bag is not as apparent anymore since I've had this bag for 8 months. So after that video, I sort of sat with myself and sort of asked whether or not I'm the kind of person that is more interested in the thrill of the purchase and that initial high than the item itself. I think for me, I'm kind of 50-50. I admit, I love the thrill of the initial purchase, you know, that excitement, the high, the exhilaration, the kind of like guilty pleasure. I do like that, you know, anything when you buy something that is expensive, you do get that burst of, you know, excitement, that thrill. There are some things that I do buy because of the thrill, and usually I think they are limited edition items, hard to get items, and honestly, those kind of items, the excitement doesn't really last. You get that burst of adrenaline, I guess you're gonna use the word adrenaline, not really, but you know. And yeah, after a while, it kind of fades and it doesn't really last. I do have quite a few items that when I bought them initially, it was similar for the high, for that thrill, but though I'm not as excited about the item anymore, like my YSL is actually a good example because I am not as excited about this bag anymore, but I still deeply love it. Like it's, and I kind of think of it like a relationship, you know, when you're first dating and you know, you should kind of like suss each other out. It's exciting, right? It's exciting, it's fun, it's exhilarating, a bit mischievous. But you know, once the relationship really develops, it sort of lulls down to a steady love, a steady appreciation. And I feel with the YSL bags and with some of my other bags and my other items, I have this steady appreciation and steady love for it, which I find quite hard to express through a YouTube video, because when I get questions like, do you still love the bag? You know, will you buy it again? I think those two questions, I am clouded by the fact that I appreciate it, but I'm trying to convey that I may not be, you know, that kind of like puppy love with it anymore. And that's only because it's been a while. You know, it's exciting to see unboxings and it's exciting to do reveals and that kind of, how do you say, excess expression, though it is very true in my heart because I'm very excited. Like when I got, okay, I got another bag here. When I got this bag, I am very excited. I'm like, oh my gosh. But to get that same reaction out of me for items that I've had for a while, I can't even fake it if I wanted to. I can't be like, oh my god, this is, I just can't, but I appreciate it, right? It got me wondering and thinking about a few of my purchases, which initially started off super exciting and then kind of lulled over time. And when it lulls over time, I think what happens for me is that I start to question if that was a right purchase and why am I not as excited about it. Another thing that I realized is that for items that I use more, I develop a steady appreciation and love for them. Whereas for items that I bought and get them tucked in the corner or I hardly reach for them, I find myself questioning myself, and I also find myself having to make an effort to rediscover that excitement. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it backfires, and then that's when the whole like, oh, should I have bought it? And all those what if comes through my head. In conclusion for me is that I love the thrill of buying. I love that initial excitement of getting something new, something that I could afford. I love it. I love new things, but I also understand that I need to respect the purchase. That when I bring it into my home, I really need to give that item a good solid chance in my collection. Like enough time to rotate it, to use it, and for me to actually develop that sense of steady appreciation. Because, you know, I have a lot of things, right? I have a good collection, and which I'm very proud of, but there are items in my collection that when I step back, I say, I haven't used you in a while. Then I kind of question myself, like, do I still like you? But what if I was using it more often to develop that, oh my gosh, I love you? I think I haven't given my items enough of a chance. And with that conclusion, it also means that I should not have a collection that I cannot manage. Because if it expands or it grows to a size that I cannot rotate my bags enough and they don't get enough love, that's when I'm sort of like setting myself up for failure and finding myself regretting my purchases. I do like a thrill in my purchase. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Feel like, so what? You know, it's exciting to buy new things. I am a consumer. I am not ashamed to admit it. I love new things. But because I know that I want to reach that stage of steady appreciation for all my items, I would only bring in things and get that thrill of bringing the things in if I know I can manage it, so I can manage using it. So I have another example here. So this is another bag. I love my Valisette BB, and it's so unique in my collection, but this is actually a thrill purchase because it was the chase of the purchase. And honestly, I haven't given it enough love. I haven't given it enough rotation in my collection, and I have a few times asked myself, should I have bought it? So I think I need to give this bag a fair chance in my collection and start to take it out more often. Of course, you know, Singapore is on lockdown, so there's nowhere to go, and I think that just amplifies that feeling of regret, and it amplifies that feeling of I shouldn't have bought things. But now that it's opening up again, like I just went out today and I was using my Birkin, I really appreciate it. So yeah, I think I'm just trying to figure out for myself if the feeling of that thrill of purchase, is it wrong for me? Should I not get that feeling? Should I not treat myself to that feeling? And I've come to the conclusion that no, I like it. I like that thrill. I love the chase. I love being able to purchase it and have that excitement, that burst of excitement. However, because I know myself that I need to be responsible, of course, so I won't be bringing things, but I also want that item in my collection long. Like, I'm not here to buy and then sell and just let it go. I want it to be in my collection for a long period of time like this, and really use it and develop that sense of deep appreciation, because otherwise it's an expensive waste. So anyway, I'm gonna ask all of you back, are you a thrill buyer, or are you one of those that when you buy something, it's kind of flat, the feeling, you're like, oh yay, finally got it, and it just goes, you know, like a steady wave? Or are you one of those, like, you have the thrill and then it drops, it peaks really fast, it peaks really fast and it dips really fast, and then you're looking for the next thrill? I'm gonna add to that, I am not a thrill seeker. Firstly, I don't have the kind of money to be a thrill seeker where I'm constantly buying for the next high. No, I just like that time that I can purchase when I'm ready to purchase and get that burst of a high, like, oh my gosh, and then I'm not looking for the next high, so I'm not looking for the next thrill, definitely not, because firstly, it is not sustainable. So yeah, that's not me. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what kind of buyer are you? Are you a thrill seeker? Like what I said, you know, you're constantly buying because you feel like, oh man, I'm bored, I'm getting the next one, I'm bored, I'm getting the next one. It's fine, I'm not saying anything, I'm just not, I can't sustain it. Or are you one of those that is really steady? Like you just don't, not that you don't want that high, but maybe the purchase for you is so thought out that it's exciting, but it's not like boom exciting. It's just yay, finally, and then it just continues like a steady stream, which is also really good because this kind of thing is not that good, right? It may not be good, but yeah, I kind of like it. Or are you sort of like me where you have that spike of happiness and after a while you don't have that same level of like utility, right? Boom. But you actually, because you're using it, you are just now riding the wave of happiness. I'm just wondering, because I think a lot of us are different kind of buyers. There are thrill seekers, non-thrill seekers, semi-thrill seekers. Before I end, I'm gonna add one more element of my character, which I'm pretty sure is one of the reasons why I do like a little bit of a thrill in my purchase. And I'm not shy about it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it because steady is boring sometimes. Is that I am a bit rebellious. So all my life in my younger years, I am more, you know, naughty, rebellious. I like to fight back, and I feel like that fighting back, you know, that kind of like, I don't want to do this. There is a bit of that thrill element of doing something that is not supposed to be doing, right? Of course, when it comes to handbags and all, you can't be doing because you need money for it. So I think for me, I like the fact that when I buy an expensive bag, you know, maybe it's subconsciously, I like the fact that, oh my gosh, this is an expensive item. You shouldn't be spending your money on this. And there's that little bit of that thrill seeker kind of thing. But of course, like I said, this is not a sustainable thing and I know it, and I only do it when the time is right. So I kind of like hold and say, yeah, you know, I think it's right. I think it's time for something new. Which I have no problem about. But anyway, let me know as well if you have some kind of character. So I feel if you're a steady buyer, you have a very steady character. But if you are a thrill seeker, like you're like up and down, up and down, up and down, you're always buying and getting the high, I feel like you have a different kind of character, which I'm curious about. Like if you admit that you are, which I think it's absolutely fine, okay, go and do whatever, you do you. Let me know, like what is that character in you that you're trying to get at. For me, I feel like my character is like I want that little thrill, but because I am a responsible adult and I have limited funds, I sort of have to accept the fact that I've got to lull it out for a while. And during that lull period, I just have to appreciate my items, which, you know, I am very, very thankful for. So yeah, anyway, it's just a chit chat. I'm just, you know, figuring out like, why couldn't I say, oh my gosh, I am so in love, still in love with this bag. Why am I not? I could not express it clearly enough in my update video, but I understand why. It's because I have passed that spike of excitement and now it's just a steady love and a steady appreciation for this bag. And yeah, I guess when you see more review videos from me for other bags, you will definitely see this more not subtle, but more subdued cat when I'm reviewing older items and reviewing other things that I just, you know, cannot bring forth a explosion of excitement. I hope you enjoyed this little chit chat video, and I can't wait to read your comments because I think that's gonna be fun to see what kind of buyer you are, and absolutely own what you want to do. Really, whatever, okay? So anyway, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell as well. Otherwise, everybody please take care, stay safe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!